All right, so I'm a little confused on this Mulkey and LSU women's basketball stuff. Is she MAGA or is she liberal? Because 2 days ago, she was Trump's vice president nominee, and then today, she's leading the liberal news on social media. I don't get it, right? And just with a little bit of homework here, I mean, it really doesn't take a lot of effort. And for the people out there that are gasbagging this topic on the national anthem and LSU, I mean, it is. I can't remember a team locally that has trolled and has gotten under the skin of mainstream media the way that this LSU women's team has. And it's led by Kim Mulkey. I mean, if you listen to the pushback, the feedback, the criticism, the compliments, whatever it is on this team, it always starts with the coach. I mean, they've got some polarizing figures and faces and names on this roster with Angel Reese and Flaugier and Haley Van Lith and Michaela Williams. I mean, you've got big brands on this team, and Mulkey leads the charge every time when, you know, the feedback, the pushback, the announcements. I felt almost sorry for our governor yesterday, right? I mean, like, have a little, just a tad bit of aware. You want to fight this fight on a Tuesday? I mean, like, you want to put this when all you got to do is just ask around, like, hey, what's the deal on the anthem thing? Yeah, well, they've been going in for 2.5 years now. I had been on the floor for an anthem in over 2 years, Gov. Like, let's get back to policy and working and whatever you're trying to do down in New Orleans, or clean up the state, you know, fix the roads, fix the crime. Worry about what's going on with one of the most popular teams that the state has. You want to go after them? I mean, like, really, who on your team was like, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's put it out on social media. I mean, I expect it from Clay Travis. I expect it from Dan Le Batard. But the governor to throw his hat in? It really proves just the unawareness. I mean, like, Gov, a little bit of research. I mean, just call somebody on the team who is a season ticket holder. You got to be one. Hey, what's the deal on this women? Yeah, well, Gov, they had been out for the anthem for 2 years now. What's the story on that? I don't know. You got a direct line to her, though. You should call her. Or call her boss. I mean, let's not put the social media statement out right now. I mean, it's Tuesday, April 2nd. What do you want to fight this fight for? You just got in office. You'll pick a fight with her? She just bullied the whole legislative body into $100 million. I mean, so is she MAGA? Is she Trump's vice president nominee? Or is she leading the liberal wire? I don't get it. Make up your mind. Because 48 hours ago, she was all MAGA, right? The whole world was against her because she was homophobic, they said. But now she's leading liberal news because her team wasn't on the floor for the national anthem. Neither was USC or UConn, by the way, in the game that followed LSU and Iowa. I know Iowa was arm in arm out on the floor in a solid show of patriotism. But because LSU wasn't on the floor and hasn't been for over 2 years, doesn't make them commies. And it's not a story today if it wasn't a story a year and a half ago. And why isn't it a story in the USC UConn game? Really? Is it the fact that this team is just that polarizing? Okay, well, I mean, you know what? If you're going to be the heel, be the heel. Wear it. Be the villain. You want to hate and troll America on this stuff and the mainstream media? Fine. It's almost laughable. This is laughable. I mean, if you have not seen and gotten a front row seat to the instability of media over the last 48 hours, if you need an example, it has been the LSU women's basketball team. 3 days ago, we were talking about a Washington Post article and an LA Times article that had polarized and politicized the team and the coach as far right wingers and Trump supporters. And 2 days later, they're all over social media's liberal news because they didn't stand for I don't get it. Which way are we going? Where is it? That's all I'm asking is just a little bit of consistency. Or can we go back to just keeping sports?
Thank you.
Right? Like, why now do the sports conversation have to be polluted by politics? That's why I came to sports. That's why I really started watching sports, love sports, is because you had all different types of backgrounds. Nobody cared where people came from. Can they make a play? Can they help us win? Put them in the game. Who cares where they're from, how they vote, who they are, what color they are, what they're from, who they sleep with. I don't care. Can they help us win? Put them in. Other than that, I don't care. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm at sports. That's what I'm getting away from all that stuff. Now my sports is polluted with politics. I can't even cheer for a team because you don't even know which way. I mean, 2 days ago, you had me believing that Trump was going to announce Kim Mulkey as his vice president nominee. Now, I'm supposed to believe that she hates America? You know what? I'm going to sit back and laugh at this and just keep my sports as long as I can do that. I don't know how long before it's just shoved down your throat and in your face that you're not going to be able to watch it without the politics and which way people lean, vote, pledge, donate money. I could give a damn, man. Give me the game. I mean, she's won 4 national titles. She's a good coach. Awesome. How she's done it, is she still doing it 35 years later? She must have had a lot of success. I don't need to know the backstory and who she pissed off and why she's not talking to her dad anymore. I just need my sports. I mean, what it has become, the governor. Who was on your team that told you to put that out? Fire them today. Really and truly. Why in the hell would you fight that fight on a Tuesday when this state is crumbling? You got people leaving and fleeing, going to Houston, Dallas to make them better markets, and we're worried about losing brain power, and the top of the chain is putting out a tweet like that on a Tuesday? At the beginning of April? When the traffic's getting worse, the crime's getting worse, the education's pitiful, and you're going after one of the only success stories that the state has to celebrate? Without just a little bit of, all you had to do is just pick up the phone. There's no way I'd believe that you don't have a season ticket holder for the LSU women's basketball program on staff that you can't text and say, give me the backstory on the anthem. Why aren't they out there? Well, Gov, I've been going to every game now for over a year and a half, and I've never seen them out there. Oh, really? So this isn't anything new? No. So you definitely shouldn't tweet anything about it today, because if you do, you're going to show that you haven't really paid attention to one of the biggest success stories that the state's had over the last 3 years. I wouldn't do it. I mean, like you're going to piss some people off by doing that. You're the governor. Why would you want to fight that fight? Why would you want to show that you hadn't been watching the team that's been bringing the state a lot of notoriety? Why would you want to prove that? And then we're supposed to celebrate it? Where are we, man? Where are we? That sports is now politics? I'm out on that. You're not going to get that on this show. I'm not. You're not going to ever know where I'm leaning, where my politics are, because it's not for here. That's not why you came here. We came here to talk sports. We're going to try to keep it about sports, even though all the sports is being politicized now.
Is there anything worse than when it bleeds over?
No.
Because then you just can't. That's why, like, I'm with you. This is why I came to this arena. It's to get away from all of that. Like, I couldn't give two hoots about politics, and they always somehow, there's always a national story or some sort of story that bleeds over into patriotism and sports. They're two separate things. One's sports, one's politics. Now, what's funny is they're almost exactly the same thing. People that are diehard about their sports also can be diehard about politics. Like, it seems like you'd like to pick one, but the conversations always kind of run themselves in a circle, and the people that are passionate about sports argue with the same vigor that people that want to politicize things argue with. Like, the governor, like Jeff Landry, now he's telling universities to put a policy in place that requires their athletes to attend the national anthem or risk losing their scholarships. Like, I don't think you can do that, but go off, King. Like, yeah. It's so
Charles County
unnecessary.
Matters. Charles County Matters. Jordy, you've had interaction with politicians on this show. We have. We've kept it a lot about sports, but we've also recognized our platform and used it as a place for people to send a message. And some of those, full disclosure, have been paid ads, paid spots for people to be on this show. I mean, that's how we make a living, is off of advertisement and selling that. So I'm not going to hide behind it. And if somebody wants to buy advertisement on this show, they can, without question, have a seat. And this has, I've always said, open to any and everybody who wants to talk sports. If there's a sports angle to it, you've got a place here. And the people that we've brought through here that have outside interest, that we've been interested in hearing about, some have been politicians, but it's not necessarily how and where we voted, how we leaned, or if it was, we didn't tell you so. You know, like, we're doing this, so you have to. Was it an endorsement from us? So, I mean, I appreciate your interaction. So, I mean, look, I just think, and again, like I said, we're not going to talk about it, and we're not going to make this show about politics. I just thought it was very unaware yesterday, and I thought, again, like, what's the deal on Mulkey, the program? Is it which side is it? I don't get it. If you're going to politicize it and you're going to make it about it, make up your mind, because I mean, it's